Hello and welcome. And from our base here in Berlin, my team at Hari IFS Food helps companies just like yours get to grips with the IFS food standard. You know, we see every day just how much hard work and dedication goes into earning an IFS certificate. So for today's explainer on version 8, we're going to focus on something really important: how the value of that certificate is protected. We'll be diving into part 1 of the standard and looking at 2 really key sections: the IFS Integrity Program and the rules for using the IFS logo. So let's think about this for a second. You go through that whole intense certification process, and that certificate becomes a massive symbol of trust for all your business partners. But what's to stop that value from getting watered down over time? What system is in place to make sure that an IFS certificate from your company means the exact same thing as one from a company on the other side of the world? Well, that's exactly what we're going to unpack today. Okay, so the first piece of the puzzle is this incredibly powerful system called the IFS Integrity Program. Honestly, the best way to think of it is as the quality control for the entire certification system. It's like the guardian at the gates, making absolutely sure that everyone is playing by the exact same rules. This program actually kicked off way back in 2010, and it had one very clear mission: to build rock-solid confidence in the IFS standards. See, it's not just about having a bunch of rules written down in a book. It's about actively checking how those rules are being applied out there in the real world, at certified companies, by the auditors, and even by the certification bodies themselves. So, you might be asking, how does it actually do all that? Well, it takes a multi-layered approach. First, it's constantly analyzing data from the main IFS database, looking for any patterns or irregularities. Second, and this is a big one, it carries out unannounced on-site checks at companies. Then, it also audits the offices of the certification bodies, the CBs, to make sure they're doing their job right. And finally, it does witness audits, where someone from the integrity program actually watches an auditor in action during a real audit. It is a true 360-degree check on the whole system. To really bring this to life, let's just imagine a company for a minute. Let's call them Hari Go, a buzzing gummy bear factory that's super proud of its IFS certification. It's a busy Tuesday, production is in full swing, and everything's running just like clockwork. And then an IFS integrity auditor shows up at the front door for an unannounced on-site check. This is right at the core of the program. Now, for Hari Go, or for any certified company, cooperation is not optional. The contract you sign as part of your certification means you have to give them full, immediate access to everything. And you really don't want to find out what happens if you don't cooperate, because the consequences are, well, they're serious. This quote from the standard couldn't be any clearer. If you deny them access, it's a breach of contract, and that almost always leads to your certificate being withdrawn. Immediately. It's tough, but it's what ensures the system has teeth and that everyone takes these checks seriously. Now, if they do find any issues, it's not some arbitrary process. The whole thing is handled by an independent sanction committee. The sanctions they issue are based on how severe the violation is, and there's even a negative point system that tracks compliance over the long run. So the whole process is designed to be both fair and really structured. Okay, so that's the integrity program, which protects the actual substance and meaning of your certificate. But what about the symbol that represents it all? That brings us right to the IFS logo. I think this is the best way to understand the connection between the two. The integrity program is working hard behind the scenes to protect the real value of your certification. The logo rules, they're there to protect the public-facing symbol of that value. And to have a symbol that everyone trusts, you gotta have some pretty strict rules. Right, let's get straight to it. The most important thing to know about the IFS logo is what you can't do with it. And the standard is crystal clear on this. You can't put it on products, you can't put it on product packaging. It is absolutely not a consumer-facing logo for the person shopping in the supermarket. And you can't use it in a way that even hints that IFS itself was the one who certified you. It's a B2B tool, plain and simple, not a marketing stamp for shoppers. Okay, so where can you use it? Well, you can, and you absolutely should, use it in your business-to-business communications to show your partners and clients that you're certified. It's perfect for the quality management part of your website, or in company presentations when you're explaining your commitment to food safety and all the high standards you meet. Now, here's a super practical and really important point. What if your certification doesn't cover every single thing you produce? The standard demands total transparency here. If you use the logo anywhere, you have to include this exact text, making it clear that some products are excluded and that anyone can ask for the details. This just prevents any confusion or misunderstanding down the line with your partners. All right, so we've gone through the program and the logo. Let's bring it all together and talk about what this really means for you and your business. So, a few key takeaways to remember. First off, the Integrity Program is there to protect your investment. It makes sure that hard-earned certificate of yours actually holds real weight in the industry. Second, these rules create a level playing field, which is so important. It means every single certified company is being held to the same high standard. And finally, that IFS logo, when you use it the right way, becomes a really powerful B2B asset for your company. When you boil it all down, everything we've talked about is designed to build trust. So I want to leave you with a question to think about. How do you believe a system like the Integrity Program can boost trust in certifications, not just for retailers, but also between food companies themselves? I'd love to hear your thoughts, so drop them in the comments below. Hey, thanks so much for joining me today. If you found this explainer helpful and you want more practical insights on the IFS food standard, please make sure you subscribe and maybe share this with a few colleagues who might find it useful. From the whole team here in Berlin, thanks again, and we'll see you next time.